I have so much to say about this. I have so much to say about this. Okay. I want you guys to watch this clip. And then please, 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 please stay around to the end because I have so much to say. Shannan E. Johnson, CEO and head consultant at The Professional Pen, where we develop screenwriters from I Did a Pitch. Need help on your screenplay? Go to www.theprofessionalpen.com.
Hey, look at this picture. So the 4 people in that picture have combined written 20 books on screenwriting. 20. And those books have sold 8 million copies. Oh my gosh, those 4 people must be screenwriting experts, right? Well, let's break it down and see. One of the people in that picture is Syd Field, who we all know wrote the very first how-to book on screenwriting. Syd's entire experience as a professional screenwriter, he wrote or co-wrote 3 episodes of a TV series called Men in Crisis, which aired for 1 season in 1964. His only other screenwriting credit, he wrote the screenplay for a movie called Spree in 1967, which has been cited as one of the worst films of that decade. Michael Hauge. I love Michael Hauge. Michael Hauge, he's in that picture. He calls himself a story expert. He's an expert on story. He has no screenwriting credits whatsoever, but he doesn't pretend to have any. He says the reason that he is so knowledgeable about screenwriting is because he's watched a lot of movies and read a lot of screenplays. John Truby's in that picture. Trube, 22-step Trube. John Truby's first ever professional screenwriting gig was on a television series called 21 Jump Street in the 1980s. He was hired by my friend Stephen J. Cannell. He was also fired by my friend Stephen J. Cannell halfway through that season because he was so terrible. He never worked again as a professional screenwriter, ever. Linda Seger's in that picture. Linda Seger, the self-proclaimed script consultant to Hollywood. All of Hollywood. She's never written a screenplay in her life, but she was a family friend of the Howards. Ron Howard, his brother Clint, father Rance. They grew up Hollywood family. She's a very close family friend with them. And it's interesting, Ron is the only professional to ever publicly endorse her as a script consultant or expert on screenwriting. That's it. So those 4 people combined, their combined professional experience as screenwriters is half a season on 21 Jump Street, a screenplay for a film cited as one of the worst of the 1960s, and 3 episodes of a television series in 1964 that no one's ever heard of. Yet they have written 20 books on screenwriting. Those books have sold 8 million copies. Maybe we're starting to see why it's so difficult to succeed in screenwriting when every book you read, everything you see and hear on the internet are from people that have either never ever done it or they tried and failed at it.
Okay, y'all, I have so much to say. The first thing that I'm going to say is anybody can sell anything because it's not about their experience. It's not even about their product. It's their ability to sell. So I'm not mad at anybody who can sell that many copies of a book because obviously you're doing something right. Let's push that to the side. 2, your favorite screenwriting author has never written a screenplay, but y'all stay in my comments asking about my credits. 3, no one ever asked a football analyst how many years they played in the NFL. Nobody asked a basketball analyst how many years they played in the NBA. Either you know them because they actually are former athletes, or they are people who learn the game, know how to talk about the game, and therefore you trust their opinion and expertise on that game because they have studied it. Those podcasts that you're listening to are just regular men, regular women who have been watching sports their whole life, who have been attending live sporting events their whole lives. Some of them might have played when they were younger. Some of them didn't. Some of them already knew, I want to be an analyst. So they did the studying necessary to be put in that seat, or they were a fan because they watch so much sports. Now they have a podcast and you listen to it faithfully and you never ask, well, when did they play? You never say, oh, you've only played in high school? I'm not going to listen to you. As a matter of fact, every Sunday, Monday night, you're in your own home, knowing better than the coach, knowing better than the players, knowing better than the analysts. Oh, why'd you do that? You should have done this. Oh, they need to get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. And you ain't ever stepped on a professional field a day in your life. So why is it that when it comes to art, or let's just talk about script consulting, let's just talk about it. Why is it that before you submit your script somewhere, you want to know what their credits are? Now, I know the answer. The answer is because you believe that someone who has made it in Hollywood can teach you to do the same. I'm here to tell you that's not true. So and here's the proof, right? As much as all of those people that he just talked about, all of those authors have either never been screenwriters or did some screenwriting that didn't go far, being able to do something and being able to teach something are two different skills. There are Academy Award winning screenwriters who can't teach you anything because they are not teachers. That is not their skill set. They might be able to look at your script and give half a note. There are people whose jobs it is to give notes and they don't give good notes. Being able to give good notes is a skill set. Also, I'm not going to take from these consultants and these authors because I don't know what else they've done in the industry. You don't have to have been a screenwriter to understand screenplays, because if you've been a producer, if you've been an executive, if you've been a production manager, if you've been a line producer, there are a million things that you could have done in this industry that made you look at scripts all the time and made you understand why they got a yes or a no, why they got greenlit, why they made it through production, why they didn't. So you can come from many different backgrounds and do well with helping other people develop and have never sold anything yourself, because that's also a different skill set. There are plenty of people who write great screenplays that you will never see because they're not great pitchers. They don't have a good network. They don't enjoy networking. They're very introverted and they just never got over that hump to sell that script. But that script is better than anything you've ever seen before, right? So there are so many reasons why somebody can be writing and not doing well. There are also many screenwriters you've never heard of who sell all the time, but it never gets produced. Who produce all the time, but you don't think their credits matter because they were smaller films or they didn't make it into the theaters or whatever the thing is. So I say that to say, I thought this was a great video because I don't think that it's negative, even if he was trying to be negative, right? I just don't believe that. To me, it said a lot, because you can't hate on somebody who sold that many books. Because if you ask most of the people who are watching this video right now, well, what book do you suggest for people? They're going to name most of those books. They didn't care. Didn't even research their names, didn't even look for their credits. They don't care because the book has proven to do what they are trying to do, which is to teach, to inform. And that is an entirely different skill set. So I am a screenwriter. I write. I do more writing for other people than I do myself. But my background is in being an executive. Yes, I went to film school to learn how to write, blah, 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 blah. Let's put that to the side too. I come from the point of view of this is what the process that we would go through in order to choose scripts, right? And then because I am a writer, I enjoy writing and I went to film school, then I can also speak from the screenwriter's point of view, right? But often people want to know what my credits are. And I always respond, my credits are not going to matter. Either you can learn from me or you can't. Either you can learn from one of these books or you can't. Their credits have absolutely nothing to do with their ability to teach you how to write a screenplay. You Learning from them may become far more successful than they ever did in writing screenplays. But baby, they selling books. Happy writing.
And that's it. Want more content? Like, subscribe, and for notifications. Get notes on your script that get you unstuck at www.theprofessionalpen.com. I'm out.